deadly emotion. I've yet to surrender to tales of forever, but never say never, my dear. Can you make me believe it at night when I call for the magic? 'Cause I just wanna feel it when things go bump in the attic, baby. Like a rabbit pulled from a hat, all that I need true love.
Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 do-it-yourself PopSocket designs that change color in the sun. I think you're really going to like it. It's great for summer or just pretty much any time of year. So let's get started. Remember to watch this whole video because it's step by step, and if you miss a step, this is not going to work, and I've left everything in the description box for you if you'd like to purchase some of these tools to make your own PopSocket design. I'm going to show you what I'm using today. You can find some of these items probably at your house, and then some of them you're going to have to purchase. I will leave all the links below so you guys know exactly what I'm using today, and it will make it very easy for you to do the same. I wanted to do this in the cheapest way possible so that everyone can achieve a really cool color changing PopSocket. Some of the items you will probably need is maybe some pieces of paper to put down just to protect your workspace, and I got one of these. It's just a mixing tray to mix different paints and whatnot. This one works really well because I'm using a variety of different bases and things like that. You can use just about anything so that you can go ahead and mix some of these materials together. I also have some of these little spoons, and these are actually from solarcolordust.com. I will put links below because these come with some of the pigments that we will be using, and I will show you all of the colors, but these come in handy. If you don't have something like this, you can just use a regular spoon, or you can just use your fingernails if you have long ones like me. We're just going to be using these to take the pigment out and put it into our mixing tray. You also want to have a container of water nearby. This is just to clean our brushes and make sure when we're changing colors that everything is off of that brush. I also like to have some rags handy. This is just to clean anything that might fall, and also just to wash my brush off as well and dry it. So to get started, what you will need is you will need a PopSocket. I can leave a link below for $2 off a PopSocket of your choice, but since we are going to be painting this PopSocket, you can just get something plain like a white or black PopSocket, but we will be coloring each PopSocket white before we put any of the pigments on top. So you will need a white paint. I got this one online. It's very cheap. This is just a satin acrylic paint, and it's good for multi-surfaces, so this is easy to use. And you're going to be painting every top button of the PopSockets white. I'm just going to be using this little sponge brush, but you can use anything. It's just going to come out better if you do use something that's flat and easy to use. And I'm going to scoop some of the white acrylic paint into my mixing tray, just like this. We're going to take the acrylic paint and we're just going to paint over the PopSocket. I like to keep the PopSocket popped out for this and just put my fingers over it like so, and go ahead and just do a fine layer of the white paint. Now you're just going to let this dry, and we're going to mix up some of our pigments. Remember to always put the caps back on your paint. It will make them last a lot longer. So the pigments we are using today are from Solar Color Dust. I have a coupon for you guys below, and you can get some money off of any kind of pigments. These are color changing pigments. They change with UV light. So we are going to have a blue to purple, and we're going to have a yellow to orange that we're going to be working with today. I'm also going to be working with this white Solar Color Dust pigment as well, and this is color changing to a pink when the UV light is introduced to it. We're going to be using a transparent base to mix some of our pigments. I've actually found a better one from the Angelus brand. This is not it. This is what we're going to be using to finish our project so that we can make the PopSocket shiny, but there is a better base for these pigments, and I can leave that below. But if you prefer to get this one, that's fine as well. But this is for an airbrush system, so it doesn't work as well with the paintbrushes. So we're just going to squeeze some of this out on to this palette here. The key to this is that you don't want to make this too watery. So I'm going to take each one of the pigments and put them into our palette here. This is the blue to purple, and these are very sensitive. So as soon as you go outside and the UV light hits this, it really does change really fast. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and use our transparent base. This one's for airbrushing. Don't have an airbrush system. Going to talk about that in a minute. I just put some right here in the middle since we're going to be changing colors. And I want to point something out about the airbrushing. You can see that my PopSocket's very streaky. I have no other way to work around this. So I've tried every different brush. I've tried the sponge. I've tried a beauty blender. It doesn't work. So the only way to eliminate this is to use an airbrush system or to use something from Home Depot that I will link below. But for me, it was too much for me to do on a whim. I don't have that, but I am going to invest in an airbrush system because I am going to be doing these projects going forward. If this is something you're going to do going forward, I would totally recommend getting an airbrush system. So we're going to start with the blue to purple. What I want you to remember is we're not going to be using a lot of the transparent base. The only brush that seemed to work is sort of this blending brush. I'm not even really sure what this is from. I think it's like BH Cosmetics, but this was the only brush that seemed to work. So there we go. And we're just going to let those dry and we're going to move on once they are dry and set. The color looks like it's like building up on one side. Just try to blend it evenly again. I know it does this because of the powder, but just try to get it as even as possible. This is not a really great way to do this, which I explained before. It should really be used with an airbrush, but since we don't have that, or at least I don't, I just use the brush. We're gonna let those dry again. It's really hard to be patient going through the different layers, but you really do have to be patient. It's just not gonna work if you're not. And even this one is not perfect, and that's because I probably rushed it. But we're just going to go through it anyway. You're probably going to be better than me at this, but we're just going to keep going, even though, you know, it's not perfect. I have a really hard time waiting for the white part to dry. I'm not going to lie. So I probably didn't wait for it to dry, and that's my fault. But I'm going to keep going and just make sure that you're letting them dry in between. So at this point, we have our blue PopSocket, our yellow, and sort of a pinkish white. So those are our three colors at this point. Now what we're going to do is put a shiny top coat on our PopSockets. This is the product I'm using, and this is the one I would highly recommend. I have a link below for you, and this is an acrylic finisher in high gloss. I take a small brush, I just dip it right in. This is a very watery substance, and you're going to think that this is not going to work, but just trust me on it. Go ahead and just paint the top of your PopSocket. I do tend to find that I need a couple coats. So I'm going to do one coat, and then I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back and do the second coat. So that is our first coat. And eventually it will look like this. You can also add glitter to it like I have, or you can just leave it plain. It's up to you. So we have all three of the PopSockets. We have the yellow one, the white one, and the blue one, and they're all in their own cases. You can see they're shiny, and again, they're not perfect because, as I said, an airbrush would be better. If you do want to get the glitter effect on the top of the PopSockets, which I highly recommend, then you're going to need one of these. This is the Extreme Glitter Acrylic Paint, and what I did to create that look is I put the top coat on, which I showed you before. It's the Angelus Acrylic Finisher. It's in high gloss. This will be below for you. You'll use this first, and then when they have dried, you're gonna go ahead and paint on this glitter, and you can do as little or as much as you want to get the desired effect. You can see how awesome the glitter looks on the PopSockets. I just think it gives it something extra, and it really makes it stand out in the sun, which is where we're gonna be using these PopSockets, so I highly recommend it.
Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? I'm with you. I feel like I'm inside a rainbow. Wish I could feel what I can't see. Float like a butterfly, scream like a banshee. Something's hiding in the pantry, but I can't find it, so would you please enchant me? Give me a potion, put my devotion to the emotion. I've yet to surrender to tales of forever, but never say never, my dear. Can you make me believe it at night when I call for the magic? 'Cause I just wanna feel it when things go bump in the attic, baby. Like a rabbit pulled from a hat, all that I need true love can ask. Can you help me to see it? 'Cause I want to believe in the magic. Cast all your spells onto me, touch me with your wand till the light shines through me. Come on baby, let's get spooky. I don't know if it's real, but I want it to be. If there's an omen, I wanna know when my eyes are open. I've yet to surrender to tales of forever, but never say never, my dear. Can you make me believe it at night when I call for the magic? 'Cause I just wanna feel it when things go bump in the attic, baby. Like a rabbit pulled from a hat, all that I need true love can ask. Can you help me to see it? 'Cause I want
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. If any of you guys make these PopSockets, please tag me, Kimberlea, on Instagram or Twitter and show me what you made. And you can hashtag #ShowMeYourPopSocket. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys so, so much. And don't forget to push the bell when you subscribe so that you can be notified of my new PopSockets videos or any of my new do-it-yourself or how-to videos. If you guys want me to try anything, just hashtag just try it and tag me on Instagram or Twitter, and I will also try something that you recommend and shout you out in my video.